As you all know me, my name is Diana. I know a lot of you are wondering, like, oh, she changed, things changed, like she's no longer who she used to be. And I would say, yes, it's true. I've changed, and change forced me to change because I didn't choose this. Yeah, because from what I've been, what I've known myself to be, is very different from who I am, from the person I am right now. But I'm glad for the change because with the change, it has taught me a lot of things, and that change came as a result of me getting into this journey of self-discovery, which so far has taught me so much that I didn't know of. I'm so glad that I found myself into this journey because as I go by, I keep on evolving, I keep on healing, I keep on becoming the best version of myself. So, for those who are wondering, I'm still here, I'm not lost, and I'm just growing and becoming the best version of me, yes. So my change came as a result of me being initiated into a spiritual journey, which I didn't choose. One thing you should know is that you don't choose to awaken spiritually. It chooses you actually. So you'll just be forced to awaken spiritually. And as much as you try to resist it or just try to deny it, like you cannot escape this. It's something you agreed to before this lifetime. Before you reincarnated into this life, you already agreed to awaken. So my time came and I had to agree to that because the more I resisted it, the more my life was just a mess. And so far I would say it's a bittersweet experience. It's not something most of you would wish for if you're not ready. So as we are as everyone says, we are God's strongest soldiers. Something which it's not a bad thing, but it's not also a sweet experience. So I would say so far I've grown, yes, I've changed. A lot of you would ask what happened, why are you not the same way you used to be? But I just discovered who I am, who I was all along, and this journey has just brought a lot of light into my life. Yes. So awakening spiritually will make you lose your old identity, lose your old self. It will just make you see everything from a different angle. Like it was all a lie. Like it was like we were living in a programmed life from what you truly are supposed to live. Yes. So I feel like I've lost a lot of my past identity, what I've grown knowing, what I used to be, the people I used to be with. When you grow spiritually, you lose almost everything from your past. Yes, that's why it's not a sweet experience. For those who are going through a spiritual awakening, they know. So you will lose your old identity. You will lose people, friends, family. Sometimes the things you used to love will suddenly not feel like they excite you anymore. Yeah. So let's say, for example, like me, I used to be a freak. I used to be this girl who would go outside every weekend Not only weekends, every day, every time I get a chance, I would go. But nowadays, I just love being indoors a lot. I love being in solitude. Yes, that is one thing I've discovered. Like when you tell me, let's go out and have fun and do the things I used to do, I'll be like, are you serious? Like I cannot do that anymore. There are a lot of reasons that may initiate you into a spiritual awakening. Sometimes it can be life situation, sicknesses, chronic illnesses. It has to be triggered by something intense. And for my case, it was me meeting my twin flame. And my twin flame ignited the fire inside me. I know most of you are wondering what is twin flame. You will know. We'll talk about that in another video. But meeting my twin flame ignited something inside me that felt so unusual, but it felt familiar too, because that was my true essence. That was the real me, my true authentic self. So twin flame journey is not about romance or being together or like soulmate. It's not that. It's actually a journey back to yourself. It's like going back to your true self, to your true authentic self. So you will be forced into a healing journey. You will face your triggers. You will face your shadows. Yes, because your twin flame is like your mirror. They mirror your deepest wounds, your shadows. Yeah, and they just force you into healing, which forces you into being the best version of yourself. So if you're on this journey, I hope to impact you and other people. So I'd like to define who twin flames are for those who don't understand. So first of all, it's a spiritual connection. Yeah, that's why a lot of people in the matrix, in the reality, the world, they don't understand when I mention twin flames. So these are one soul splitted into two bodies. Yes, I also found it like that. I did my research and I kind of related it to my situation and experience, and they kind of relate. So sometimes I see it as the wonders of the world, because how can God be so creative to let two people have the same soul, like you and you? Yeah, it's that phenomenal. It's like supernatural. Like it's something that is so hard to believe, but until you experience it, you cannot believe it. Yeah. But as for my case, I would say this is something I experienced personally, and so far it has been a healing journey. It has been the best thing that ever happened to my life. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I love it. Yeah, like I said, it's a bittersweet experience. So it forces you to face your darkest shadows, the things that you don't want to face about yourself. It just forces you to face the truth about you, about your authentic self, your truest version of yourself. So yeah, so let's talk about signs that you've met your true twin flame. So number one is that there's an instant recognition. Okay, on meeting your twin flame, you'll feel like you know this person but you've never met. It's like you'll start asking, do I know you? But in real sense, you've never met. It's your first time meeting. It's like something touching your soul. It's like a soul remembrance. Yeah. So the instant you meet, you will just feel familiarity. You just feel like, I know this person, but I don't know from where. It's like deja vu feeling. You understand? Okay, the next thing is that there's intense mirror energy. This person reflects both your light and your shadows. Yes, and they'll force you into deep healing. Yeah, so if you're not healing, if you're not growing spiritually, if it's just a toxic kind of thing, that is not twin flame, because your true twin flame will force you into healing and being the best version of yourself, not that. Yes, and they'll trigger a spiritual awakening. Yes, that's another thing. Okay, another sign is synchronicities everywhere. So synchronicities is like seeing angel numbers, repeated numbers, 11, 11, 12, 12, and many more. You start hearing songs, you start seeing their names everywhere. You start uh, like feeling a lot of their energy around you. They'll always be in your mind. Yes. First when you meet, first time when you meet, they'll always be in your mind. Like you feel like it's an obsession or something like that, but you will be connected telepathically, like listening to songs that remind you of them. You will have dreams of them a lot, not just dreams, a lot. And also, you will um, you will get messages that guide you, divine messages. Yes. So when you see the synchronicities and these familiar experiences, just a sign of a true twin. Another sign is the runner chaser dynamic. So you will be meeting and you will be triggering each other and separating, and they go and you feel lonely, and you are forced to heal, and then they come back again. So the on and off, the running and chasing thing, you will experience that also on a true twin flame dynamic. Another sign of a true twin flame connection is unconditional love. Like your twin flame will trigger you, you'll feel bad, you'll sometimes feel like, oh, you don't want them anymore. But one thing about twin flame, a true one, you will never hate them. You will never hate them, despite what they do, despite your separation, despite uh, how they trigger you. Like you cannot hate them. It's unconditional love. In as much as they did you bad, you felt like they rejected you, or they kind of didn't make you feel good, but you cannot hate them. You cannot hate them, because remember, it's the same soul in two bodies. So it's like you cannot hate yourself. So you can't hate your twin flame. It's unconditional love. So another sign of true twin flame is that um, when you're in the journey, maybe later on, you'll start discovering more about yourself. You'll start discovering more about your soul purpose, the reason why you came into this lifetime, your mission, like your purpose in general. So you'll start discovering what you like to do, your soul mission, your soul purpose, and all that. So despite healing and being activated into a spiritual awakening, you will also find and discover your soul purpose. And maybe it can be serving humanity, helping others heal, and just doing your soul mission in general. So your twin flame will activate that. Yeah. So what a twin flame connection is not is not constant pain, obsession, or chasing, and also is not that toxic one-sided relationship. Yes. And also it's not okay, it's just a connection that brings peace and divine alignment with time. if it doesn't bring change, if it doesn't bring positivity with time, if it's only toxic, that's not a twin flame connection, that's a karmic. And a twin flame connection, with the time, you get clarity, you start to understand the journey more clearer, um, and you know that the purpose that it serves in your life. So when you're on a true twin flame connection, you will also know. Please let your intuition guide you. Yes, so you can never be wrong with a twin flame connection. It doesn't fade over time, however much time it takes. It doesn't fade. This connection is on. Unlike karmic relationship, which fades over time after the lesson is learned. A twin flame, it's a forever thing. Yes. So let's talk about difference between karmic connection, soulmate connection, and a twin flame connection. So a karmic connection is like a trauma bond, so toxic, and also it's so hard to live. A lot of us are caught in karmic relationships, which forces us to only be in repeated cycles which never ends. So the difference between a karmic and a twin flame connection is that a karmic fades over time. After you learn your lesson, after the repeated toxicity, repeated cycles, you learn your lesson and the obsession stops and you realize the lesson behind it. But a twin flame connection, you will always be connected. It never ends. It's always a connection that is eternal. Like time can pass, years, but the connection is still on. Yes, that's the difference. And a soulmate is just unconditional love. They love you for better, for worse. And a soulmate connection is calm, is peaceful, is not chaotic. It's like you're meant to be. It's like this is the right person for you. Yes. A twin flame connection, like we said, one soul, two bodies, and they are meant to treat you. And it's a journey that brings you back home. They are meant to teach you unconditional love, which starts within yourself. Yes. So if you are on a twin flame journey, just remember that it's a journey. It's a mirror that brings you back home. It aligns you to your true self. So the more you heal, the more the connection harmonizes in divine timing and alignment. So other than romance and feeling like or other normal relationships, you should take it as a journey that brings you back home. Yes, your twin is your ultimate lover, but he's also a teacher. He's also a person that makes you understand that unconditional love starts by loving yourself unconditionally. Yeah, so if you want to know that you're on a true twin flame journey, just take note of the signs. And there's also a trigger your spiritual awakening. Yes. So your true twin will trigger your spiritual awakening. You'll just notice that you've changed a lot. Your past is not who you are anymore.